everyone, and welcome back. Our hero of the Bible this week is Samson, a very strong man. One of Israel's judges, Samson, was famous for his great strength. Before he was even born, an angel told his parents that Samson would deliver Israel from the Philistines. They were not to let Samson drink wine or cut his hair. When the boy grew up, he would be very strong, the angel said, and it was true. Samson once tore a lion apart with his bare hands. Another time, he caught 300 foxes and tied torches to their tails, destroying the Philistines' fields. He even killed 1,000 men with the jawbone of a donkey. He tore a huge gate off a city wall and carried it off and left it on a mountain. But then he fell in love with a beautiful Philistine woman named Delilah. The leaders of the Philistines offered her 1,100 pieces of silver if she could find out the secret of his strength. "If you really love me, you would tell me," she said. He told her if he was tied with fresh green vines or new ropes, he would be weak like any other man. He told her if she braided his hair, he would lose his strength. Each time she did what he told her, and each time when the Philistines burst into his room thinking he was weak, he would still be too strong for them. Finally, he told her the truth. If his hair was cut, he would be just as weak as any other man. His long hair represented a secret vow of faithfulness he had made to God. So while he was sleeping, she had his hair cut. This time the Philistines seized him and poked out his eyes. They chained him in prison and he had to grind wheat. But his hair began to grow back. One day the Philistines had a big party. They called for Samson so they could make fun of him. They praised their god Dagon. "Our God has given Samson into our hands," they said. They tied Samson to the pillars that held up the house and laughed at him. But he prayed and asked God to help him one more time. Then he pushed down the pillars with all his strength, and the house fell down, killing him and all the Philistines who were there. Pagan gods. The people of Canaan worshipped gods made of stone or metal called idols. The main god was Baal, who hurled lightning bolts and spoke in thunder. Canaanites often sacrificed their own babies to Baal. Cities and families often had their own idols too. God was very unhappy with the Canaanites. The Philistines. The Philistines were a warrior people who lived along the coast. They had more experience fighting and better weapons than the Hebrews, so they collected taxes from the Hebrews and took away their weapons. They also took all the blacksmiths prisoners so they could not make new weapons. Here comes the judge. Between Joshua and Israel's first king Saul, the children of Israel were led by a series of 12 judges. They were either wise leaders or military heroes like Deborah, Gideon, and Samson. Other judges included Ehud, who made a special two-sided sword to kill the king of Moab, and Jephthah, who identified his enemies by their inability to say a certain word. The last judge was Samuel, a priest. A visit from an angel. In the Bible, angels often were the bearers of good news. An angel visited Samson's mother, who could not have children, to tell her that she would have a son. He promised that her son would deliver the Israelites from the Philistines. She told her husband Manoah the amazing news, but he wanted to talk to the visitor himself. The angel did return to talk to Manoah. Well, I hope you enjoyed and learned something, and as always, you are invited to Sunday school at Pasco Community Baptist Church on Sundays at 10.